everyone, and welcome back to seeing my progress on my mosaic blankets. But before I get into showing you what it is that I've been doing, let me talk to you about mosaics here for just a moment. You know, every time I show you my progress, I read comments that say, I just don't think I can do mosaics. They look too intimidating. I wouldn't know. Take a deep breath, everyone, and let me tell you. There's only really 3 things you need to know how to do. Can you chain? Well, if you crochet, yes, you can chain. Can you do single crochets? That's the first basic stitch that there is to learn, besides chaining, and yes, I do count chaining as a stitch. Can you do double crochets? That's the second one. So right there, you know how to do the basics. You know how to chain, you know how to single crochet, and you know how to double crochet. Can you work in the back loop? Can you work in the front loop? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say the back loop and the front loop of a stitch? Folks, if you don't know, take just a moment and go look. Pull up working in the back loop of a stitch, working in the front loop of a stitch. It won't take you but just that long to know what it is that we're talking about when we're talking about making stitches in a back loop or a front loop. That's all you need to know. Then it's all about counting. There are some very beautiful patterns out there that are very beginner friendly. Now, all you have to do is just type in YouTube search, easy mosaic, say pillow top or a coaster. Start with something small. Don't let the very idea of doing mosaic cause you to shy away from trying it. Start with a small project. Maybe make a coaster or a pillow top. Maybe even a placemat or a runner. You don't have to start out with a blanket. But even if that's where you want to go, there are some very easy blanket patterns out there in which you can purchase if you wish. There's lots of folks that do crochet alongs for their mosaics, and they show you each month, each week, depending on, the length of their crochet along. They give you everything that you need to know how to do, even right down to your color choices, how much yarn you need to buy. So please don't let the idea of doing a mosaic project scare you off, because it is a wonderful technique to have back here in your toolbox. It's also an enjoyable project, especially at this time of the year. We're getting ready to get cozy by the fire. Temperatures are going to start dropping. So working on a mosaic blanket or even a scarf, maybe a baby blanket, it's that time of year, number one, to not only learn something new, but also to create something new. So let me encourage you to get out there, do your research, find something simple to begin with. And if you're like me, folks, you're going to wonder, why in the world did you put off learning mosaic so long? So that's all I'm going to say. All right. I will encourage you, though, to go out there and look to see what it is that you can find. Jump on board. Mosaic is not hard. It is a lot of fun. And you end up with something really beautiful and magical to show for what you've been creating. All right, so what have I been working on this past week? Well, I just finished up my August selection or section of the Calendar crochet along, and that's what I'm here to show you today. Now I'm going to drop you the picture of Nikki's Calendar crochet along for 2025. Now, as I've told you in the past, if you've been watching my progress with this blanket, I went ahead and bought the pattern because I didn't want to have to wait if I found myself getting ahead, which I haven't. I didn't want to have to wait for the pattern for each month to drop. I wanted to go ahead and try to get myself ahead of schedule. Well, at least I'm caught up, and I do have my yarn, which I'll be showing you here in just a minute, for September, what it is that I've chosen. But first, let me remind you of what the picture looks like. Now, as you can see, she used solid colors, and I chose not to. I mean, I did like her. I do have solid color backgrounds for each one of my months, but I chose to go a little bit different route. I wanted to use some prints, some speckles, just something a little bit different so that I could see the true pattern pop a little bit. Now, there have been a month or two in which maybe my color choice wasn't too good, or I was really having some doubts whenever I started working with it, but it all came out really pretty. So what I'm going to show you first is there were 4 little patterns for the month of August, which typically now has become the month for many across the country in which we start going back to school. So what you're going to see is 2 pictures in which I show the 4 little patterns. Now, the patterns for the month of August to represent going back to school was a school bus, a pair of scissors, I'm going to say it's probably like a composition book, or maybe an iPad. I mean, you tell me what you think what it looks like. Tell me down in the comment box, because I couldn't make up my mind exactly what it was. Maybe it's supposed to represent a spiral tablet, although it doesn't have the little spiral on the side. But anyway, you'll see it here in a minute. But that third little piece that I'm going to call a composition book, and an apple. So let me show you those pictures here real quick. What did you think? Did you think that was a tablet or a composition book? Maybe a spiral? Maybe a subject book? I hadn't thought about that. That the little brown section of the window there on it is what threw me off. So maybe that's the label in which you can go and write what subject it is. Maybe it's supposed to be a file folder. I don't know. But here's the whole piece all put together. Now again, this is one of those times in which I thought, as I got about halfway through, should I have gone with a lighter colored background? Because I couldn't tell if that Crayola yarn from Red Heart was really popping. But once it all came together and I stood back and looked at it, I thought, yeah, that's a good choice. I did okay. Now, with September coming up, folks, I chose a cream colored background for September so that my autumn colors could pop. So give me just a minute and let me go grab that for you, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so these are my color choices. Now both of these are Red Heart, but I chose this one because the name of it is Fall. And it truly is all of the fall colors. I mean, that's what our leaves start looking like when they start changing colors. And so I thought this was just the perfect color. Now, this is a cream, and it's not showing up. I mean, it's showing up a little bit more white than I want it to. But the cream will be my background, and then obviously the fall here will be my, will show off the designs. Now, there's a squirrel, a nut, obviously, a leaf, and I don't remember what the 4th pattern is. But anyway, those are my color choices for September, and I do hope to have that section of it completed to show you next week so that I can get back on schedule with my Dakota, because I do have another panel that I'm just about completed, and I want to show to you how the repeat of the pattern is coming, and it's gorgeous. And then I want to get back to my desert and the desert cactus. This one, oh, I've already finished the bookworm. I forgot about that one. But I do have a new one that I'll be putting into the mix. And that should, by the end of the year, get one side of the family done with the mosaic blankets. I was shooting for 8, folks, but you know what? That ain't gonna happen. But I will at least have one side of the family done with mosaics this year, and I'll start on next year's once they are finished. So that's all I have for you today. But as I said in the very beginning, take a moment, do your research, start out with something new. And I don't want to hear anymore saying there's no way I could do a mosaic, because yes you can. I told you what all you needed. Now all you got to do is find yourself a pattern, grab a hook and some yarn, and get to mosaicing. All right? Thank you once again, each and every one of you, for showing up every time I upload a video, especially to show you my progress on my mosaic blankets. I just want to remind you to be sure and hit that like button. Leave me a comment, please. It makes me feel so good to know who it is that has stopped in, even if all you want to do is leave me a little wave or a heart sign. That's great. I just love seeing who it is that pops in to watch my videos. As always, folks, remember to be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. Could be your special light that they're waiting to see. So let it shine. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.